everybody, it's Monday, May 2nd, and that means it's time for another episode of Chatting with Agnes and Cecilia Nonprofit Conversations. I'm one of your hosts, Cecilia Sepp. I'm the principal and founder of Rogue Tulips Consulting. Today's episode's a little bit different because it's not just another episode of Chatting with Agnes and Cecilia. It is the last episode in which my friend and co-host Agnes Amos-Coleman is going to be joining us on a regular basis. Agnes has decided to step down from her hosting activities because her life has gone in a different direction. So I'm going to throw it over to Agnes so she can say hello and greet our global audience one last time as co-host. So over to you, Agnes.
Oh, thank you, Cecilia, and thank you to our global audience, wherever you are joining us from. My name is Agnes Amos-Coleman, and I am an association executive. And as Cecilia said, this is going to be my, well, I wouldn't like to say last, maybe last as a co-host, but I will be back as a guest. Just a kind of a quick overview. You guys know this already. Cecilia and I started this talk show over 2 years ago now, Cecilia, is that correct?
Actually, 3. It was April of 2019. So actually, April of 2022 was our 3rd anniversary.
Oh my goodness, how time flies. Yes. And we've had a lot of fun. It's been a great ride. And Cecilia is not just a co-host, she's a dear friend. And but life happens. There's a time and season for everything. And in the midst of having fun on this talk show, along the way, life has happened for me. I have a beautiful boy that's just joined our family. And of course, I just started a new job. And with all this, I've just made a decision to step down. Again, I just really want to appreciate all of our guests all over the world who have joined us on this show. They've been great. And of course, our global audience who have tuned in to hear my perspective. And as I said earlier on, I will be back as a guest this time, not as a co-host.
That's right. Anytime we need to talk to anyone who's an expert on meetings, conferences, or any sort of event for nonprofits, we know who to call, right? That's Agnes. So
that's very true.
Meeting busters like those.
So Cecilia, tell us about what your plan is to rebrand the show, because I know that you have some thoughts, and I think that this would be an opportunity to engage our global audience on what the future plans are.
Oh, well, thank you, Agnes. We actually have a lot of guests scheduled through the rest of the year. As I have often mentioned to people, Agnes has been our lead on guest management for the last 2 years, and she has put a lot of effort into booking us out. So we're pretty much booked out through the end of the year. We have a couple open slots, but the format of the show, I should say, is not going to change all that much. I'll still be here talking with people from all across the nonprofit community, all around the world, people in the for-profit area who have really interesting things to say and share that nonprofits could use and learn from.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what's going to change? It will no longer be called Chatting with Agnes and Cecilia Nonprofit Conversations. It will just be called Nonprofit Conversations with Cecilia Sepp. So we're going from, 2 titles to 1 title and 2 hosts to 1 host. So it's like really we're cutting back.
But you know what, Cecilia, I think what gives me a lot of joy is to know that the focus of the show is now going to change, because when we started out 3 years ago, we wanted to focus on the non-for-profit community globally and just really getting the association community to share their best practices. So I am delighted that you are going to keep that focus, because our community does need that different perspective, the opportunity where they can just share ideas, look for ideas, and this show will live on to continue to provide that forum and opportunity to do so.
Yes, and the complete library from the beginning of April 2019 will always be available. It's still there. I have had to, just for podcast promotions and things like that, go in and edit our title so people can find it. But the name Chatting and Agnes and Cecilia will live on through the internet. It's still there. And long after we're all gone and people 500 years from now are checking computer caches, our show will still be there. So,
Yes.
so we're currently at well over 140 episodes.
Wow, that's remarkable.
Yeah, and we have, pretty much been doing at least 3 a month.
Mhm.
We try to do 4. We do take some weeks off for holidays, or if something comes up, like I had a death in the family a few years ago and we had to skip an episode week. But usually we're here, we're talking with people, having great time. We laugh a lot.
Yes, we do.
Just kind of looking back at some of the funny guests we've had. We had a guest come on one time and all he wanted to talk about was single malt scotch and travel. We said, well, if that's what you want to talk about, we thought
We'll
we were
talk
going
about
to
it. That's
about,
right.
data
Yes.
management, but okay, sure. Whatever you want to talk about is fine. And it's
Yes.
been really wonderful for me getting to meet so many of Agnes's friends and colleagues from around the world, because I am very much an American. I was born here. I was raised here. I went to college here. Never worked outside the United States. Whereas Agnes is from Nigeria originally. She grew up in England. She's worked in several other countries around the world. And she worked at a very large international association. And so she met people from around the world. And because of that, I've gotten to meet all these lovely people. And what I really love about it is it just reinforces what I already knew, that, humans have way more in common than they don't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And it's that commonality that binds us, even in the association community that we all belong to, and we'll continue to be. Because even in my new role, I'm still within the association community, and I definitely look forward to being one of your guests over the next couple of months, Cecilia, just to share a different perspective rather than sitting in this seat as a co-host. So. Again, I really just, in closing, and I know you have some parting thoughts, Cecilia, but for me, again, I just really want to appreciate our global audience for tuning in every week to listen to us, to listen to our perspective, the perspective of our wonderful guests that we've had from all over the world. We appreciate you, because without you, there wouldn't have been, we will not have a chatting with Agnes and Cecilia. So we want to appreciate you. And again, I want to thank our wonderful guests, because without our guests, without their perspective, we would not be here. So I just wanted to make sure that I reinforce and restate that. And to thank you, Cecilia, for being a wonderful friend. And not just a wonderful friend, but a good and a great co-host. And I know that our relationship can only get better, because we've been at this in and out of the show and been friends in other ways for over, I would say, 7 years now, Cecilia.
Has it? Well, actually, that's kind of funny, because I think it's actually been about 6 years.
6 years. Okay.
Yeah. So about 6 years. Yeah. So yes. Yeah, it has been almost 7 years. I was like, no, wait, Agnes, so it's been 5. No, it's actually been 6, because we worked together. We started working together in very late 2016.
Yes.
And then we consulted together. And then we created the podcast while we were looking for work. Because if anyone's ever wondered how did Cecilia and Agnes come up with this idea of doing a podcast, and we were one of the first nonprofit focused podcasts. I'm not saying the first, because that goes to Association Chat, which is Kiki L'Italian show, which she has nurtured from Twitter days, when we used to do Twitter chats, and she has really grown that show over the years and does a lovely job there. But so I would say Kiki's the first. We were one of the first, though, when podcasts became a popular way to reach out to people and share your thoughts and ideas and information. And Agnes and I used to have long conversations about different topics. And one day I said to Agnes, we should record these and put them up on YouTube. And we used to call it a web series. Before we realized, well, really, this is the same thing as a podcast. You can watch it, We moved to audio a few years later, but our first 3 episodes were about Agnes's book, Transforming Business Through Godly Governance, because it's in 3 sections. And so that was our first 3 episodes. And, here we are now. As friends do, friends journey together for a while, and then sometimes they have to go down different paths, but they're still friends.
Absolutely.
And, maybe Agnes, when I finally get my book written that I'm working on, I will have you back to be a guest host and you can interview me about my book.
I will be delighted to do that. I will be delighted. I will be delighted to do that. I will be delighted. So
yeah,
thank you again, Cecilia. It's been wonderful. And again, it's not goodbye. It's we will meet again very soon.
Great. It's au revoir. So, well, it has been great. It's always wonderful to be able to work with you, Agnes, and our friendship, it means a lot to me. So I have always been supportive of you, even when you decided to get a straight job and being a consultant. But I was very glad because you set a goal and you achieved it, which is to get that full-time job. But I do want to say one more thing. You say your little boy joined your family recently, but it's actually been a couple of years since he joined your family. And I remember when you were staying in Nigeria during the lockdown, right before you left, I was joking around about let's get him home before he starts college. And it almost did turn into him starting college before you got home. But
that's true. That's true.
But it's wonderful. Our lives all do go in different directions. I know mine's gone in a lot of different directions over the years, and having fun. So I am going to miss you, Agnes, because it can't be chatting with Agnes and Cecilia without Agnes, though. So
I know.
I understand. So I get it. And, and as Agnes has said, she will be back.
Yes.
She'll return and be a guest, and looking forward to that very much. And keep watching. We usually wrap up with we have to go rogue for now. It's the last time we're going rogue as co-hosts, but not the last time we'll go rogue as friends. So stay alert, world, and because we're still out there doing stuff together.
Yes, we are.
We do have to go rogue for now. I do want to thank my friend Agnes Amos-Coleman, who is a certified meeting planner, who unfortunately got a straight job and now has to not be a podcast co-host. But I do want to thank you, Agnes, for being a wonderful co-host and asking such great questions and doing such a great job on guest management. I am looking forward to the challenge of keeping it at the level you have.
You're going to do a great job, Cecilia. I have no doubt about that.
Oh, well, thank you.
A great job.
Keep looking for those great guests. Well, it's like I tell people, one of the reasons we have such great guests is Agnes, if she sees someone interesting, if she knows them or not, she just invites them to the show. and
don't you worry, I'll send them your way. So
that's great. Yeah. And I have no problem just talking to people. So, but well, we do have to go rogue for now. It's a little bit of an emotional episode for us as our journey takes us in different directions, but as often happens with friends, the road leads us to eventually connect again. So best wishes to Agnes. I know we all wish that. So we're going to go rogue for now. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode in our shorter title, Nonprofit Conversations. So I hope you'll join us. You can find our podcast on anchor.fm, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music, as well as many other podcast services. If you'd like to learn more about Rogue Tulips Consulting, please visit our website, roguetulips.com. And if you're looking for CAE courses or information about study groups, you can check out our group, the 501c League, and they're at the 501cleague.net. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.